Kelly Love.
She's really helpful.
She's very sweet.
She always took time for us.
She'll literally help you with anything.
And I teach math. The two courses I'm responsible for are off-semester geometry and algebra 2.
It's called across. And then after that, we're gonna play. You guys ready? Back to
Over the years, just kids having a lack of confidence in doing math, that they kind of get bored with just listening and writing down problems and working those. I've noticed when you ask them to practice and send home homework, usually it doesn't get done and they don't bring it back. It's just another paper to throw away. They lack the application of it, of what they could use it for or why they should know it. And just a lot of kids just dreading coming to class because it's not as fun, or they get bored, or they just avoid it because it's hard.
Well, Algebra 2 has a lot of more like other concepts, I guess you could say. It's like a lot from multiple varieties. We're working on like greatest common factors, which is kind of stuff we used in like middle school, but now we're using it for more advanced concepts and like that.
In Miss Love's class, it's not just a bunch of her standing at the board and teaching. We have a lot of activities in the class, and she makes things interesting.
I liked it better because I understood it, because she had different ways of teaching that I liked.
I realized like I didn't want to be in the front of the room talking the whole time. Nobody wants to listen to me that long, and I don't want to listen to myself that long. It's so boring. I mean, there are times when I have to be in the front and explaining things. So I tried to actually got online, started following other math teachers across the United States that were teaching math and trying new things and doing different things than just lecturing. And what's nice about that, a lot of those teachers started blogging and sharing out those things that they were doing for free. So I became a thief and started stealing their good ideas, which included like just games and a lot of group activities and just things that require them not being in their seats the whole time writing. 2.
Right on line. Girl, you know the trick.
1.
Aw, that was not the trick.
Go.
No.
You turn it around and I need both answers.
Wait, with 2 endpoints?
Yeah, that's what I have too.
I also decided instead of giving them just notes to fill out that we would make a notebook. We don't use a textbook. So we make a notebook for them to refer back to, and we do a lot of different things in that. So there's some cutting and pasting and taping and coloring, which even though they're high school kids, they still enjoy that at times. So
Yeah, she like prints out these papers, like a table of contents, what else? All the little worksheets, and she has them like day 1, day 2, and then we make little pockets in our notebooks, and so we can put our like spare pages in.
It's almost like you're writing a book for each unit.
So she lets us, well, for me, example, I borrowed a notebook that had been previously used, and we got them for like 50 cents or something like that. And so if you're a teenager, you usually like to do cheap things. But yeah, we can do it whatever we want. There's small things like you can use like glue or tape, but you can just kind of arrange it best to help you learn the most.
We get to, I'm like a colorful person, so I like to use colors, so that's another plus.
I've seen kids, they interact more with each other and with me. they are more likely to participate and just instead of just sit there. In fact, most of the time you can't just sit there because you'll be the only one sitting there. They are able to, I feel like, gain confidence in what they're doing because they're working together. If they don't know, they can talk to the people at their table because we don't sit in rows, we sit in groups.
Well, I love that we have groups at the table so we can work with partners if we need help on a question.
And sometimes it's helpful when their peers answer the questions than me answering the question. I think I still have some that say, they still don't like math, but they don't mind coming to my class. So they're more apt to try the math when it's not in a just take notes and then practice a worksheet or whatever. The biggest thing I hope they leave with is just confidence. Confidence that they can do something that they thought they couldn't do. Even if it's, even if they don't get an A, which is totally fine, but they've improved in some way. And just the mindset that to challenge themselves in anything that they do and go after, even if they don't think that they can do it, to try it. And just the ability to communicate. So a huge thing in my classroom, and a huge thing for me, is just kindness. Especially in a math classroom, since I have a lot of kids come in without confidence, they don't want to share out. They don't want to be wrong because they don't want other people to think less of them. They don't want to be ashamed. And so kindness is huge for me.
Well, she does this thing with the gratitudes every day, makes you like write down your gratitude, so it kind of puts everyone in a positive mood because you're thinking what you're thankful for, and that puts you in a better mood to learn.
Just speaking to people kindly that my room is a safe place, that it's okay if they don't get the answer right, that's what we learn from, and just celebrating small victories. So celebrating things that we do right, and just taking the next step forward to try to fix the things that we don't quite have.
It's like there's something to be happy about every day.
Thank you for teaching me math and making me better at it.
Keep it up, you're doing great.